D-Wood, you have seen the Patriot way. You've experienced life also outside of Bill Belichick. How was it different when you left New England?
Oh, it was like a whole new world, Laura. And I remember the first time I met Rex Ryan, and I sat in his office, and he, went to the refrigerator. He said, "Yeah, you want a beer?" And I'm like, a coach telling me that he wants to drink a beer in the office. We sat back, we drank beers, and we talked about what we want to do, accomplish with the New York Jets. So, like I said, there's always more than one way to skin a cat in order to be successful in this league. And Tom Brady is living that life right now.
Yeah, D-Wood, I can imagine you looking over your shoulder like, is Bill watching us drink these beers right now? I can attest, Rex Ryan, probably very different from Bill Belichick. Let's get our ESPN Patriots reporter Mike Reiss in here. I hear you're smiling. Oh, and now I see that you're smiling about this story. Mike, let's start there. What do you think about what D-Wood just said?
Well, I was thinking about Bill Belichick, reaching into his fridge, and I think he would be offering water to any of his quarterbacks there, right? And that would be it. Are you hydrated to go for a second practice today? And it is classic, the difference between Bill and Rex. I mean, couldn't be more opposite.
Yeah, those two, opposite ends of the spectrum. You mentioned quarterbacks there, Mike, and we talk about all this Patriot way stuff, but this Patriots team needs a quarterback. So what are you hearing about their options as we get closer and closer to the draft?
Well, Laura, start with what they have. Cam Newton and Jarrett Stidham, and they're definitely hoping with a full offseason in their program, they'll get a better version of Cam Newton this year. But they also know they need their quarterback of the future. They're locked in on the draft. They pick 15th, and no guarantee they'll get one of the top quarterbacks. It was notable last week that Josh McDaniels, their offensive coordinator, was down at Florida checking out Kyle Trask, one of the second-tier quarterbacks in this draft. And just a reminder that the Patriots are being very thorough in their scouting of all the quarterbacks in this draft. They'll also keep an eye on Jimmy Garoppolo, and if that situation potentially changes with the 49ers, but a very full, thorough scouting outlook from the Patriots on Trask and that second tier of quarterbacks as well.
Yeah, it's interesting because before Mac Jones was in the conversation at 3, some people connected him to the Patriots, as you well know, Mike. And then there are some similarities between Kyle Trask and Mac Jones. So that Kyle Trask situation could be an interesting one there for the Patriots. He might be a little better than some people think. Everyone wondering what New England will do at quarterback. History suggests that the Patriots, like the Saints, Cowboys, and Seahawks, will not pull the trigger on a first-round QB unless they're picking at the top. But with 10 selections in this upcoming draft, you have to wonder whether they will consider moving up, doing something that they never do, grabbing one of those guys in the top 5. So, Matt, what do you think? Do the Pats need to trade up and get one of these quarterbacks?
Yeah, I think they have to, or they should at least. Like you said, they have 10 draft picks. And let's be honest, I'll say what no one else will. The Patriots aren't that good at drafting anyway, especially in the first round, with the exception of Damien Woody. They haven't exactly hit on those picks. You have to go back to 2012 to really find the last hit the Patriots had in the first round. So why not trade a couple picks to get your Justin Fields or Trey Lance? If Cam Newton is the prototype for what Josh McDaniels' offense is going to look like moving forward, then go get that type of quarterback. But get them at 22 years old with 4.4 speed and an arm to make every throw. Cam Newton could be a mentor for a year, and then you unleash Justin Fields on the rest of this division, which is very quickly pulling away from you, Bill Belichick. So if they want to create another Super Bowl window, it's time to stop going to the veteran quarterbacks. It's time to trade up. You might have to go up to 8 with Carolina to get ahead of the Denver Broncos, but I think it's worth it to do that on draft day if we see one of these quarterbacks start to slip down the board just a little bit.
Yeah, the more I think about this, the more I don't understand how they don't go up into the first half of that draft, or first 8 or 9 in the draft. And I look at the NFC teams because I don't think any AFC team is going to be stupid enough to go, here, guys, come on, here's this quarterback. You could take him and control the AFC again. So Detroit at 7, Carolina at 8, Dallas at 10, and the Giants at 11 as NFC teams that New England should be targeting to go get him. Because I just don't sit here and think like going into this season, again, Matt, you just mentioned the division with Josh Allen, Tua, and likely Zach Wilson. I don't understand how New England could sit there and feel comfortable about where, because all those guys are young. All those guys are sitting there going, we're the face of our division for the next 10 years. Forget the conference that also has Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. So New England is going to have to. And if I'm one of those NFC teams, I'm on the phone with them every day, enticing them to come up. Because I think at the end of the day, in Big Wood, you know this. It's really difficult for a football team to go into a game knowing you are at a severe deficit at the quarterback position and thinking you have a chance. New England has had a chance to win every single game for the last 20 years because they had the best quarterback in football. It's a different world now, and I think that's why they're going to have to go up and go get a quarterback.
Yeah, Dan, listen, I think, something that you alluded to within the division, Bill Belichick used to always tell us, in order to get to the dance, you got to win a division. And it starts right there.
Yeah.
Look at the quarterbacks in that division. If Bill Belichick wants to continue to contend in the AFC, which, by the way, has the most young guns between the AFC and the NFC.
No doubt.
If you want to contend, you're going to have to go get one of these young guys. And if one of these young guys start to slip down, then you're going to have to use your draft capital, because if you don't, you're going to be left in the dust by some of these other teams within your division.
Yeah, I hear you guys. I do agree with you that the Patriots are going to need to trade up and probably need to your point, Matt, get at least to 7 to try to get one of these top-tier quarterbacks potentially, maybe even higher than that to be.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.